I got a huge box back from CGC, which is good news because this is a 9/8 pre-screen, and when it's got this little extra piece, it means there are more than a few comics in here. 25 book pre-screen. How did I do? Let's check it out up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hello, panelologists. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. And before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out the description of this video for links to my Instagram, whatnot, eBay store, and email. You know what to do. If you want to get in touch with me, some of these books may be available. We're going to go through. I don't know how many of the books got the 9/8 in the pre-screen. I don't know which ones did. I'm clueless. I just know the box is bigger than the last couple of disappointing pre-screens I've gotten back. There were 25 books submitted. We're going to talk about where I got them from. We'll look at the fair market value. That'll be listed down here. We'll have some fun. Hopefully some good news. There are a few books I'm really looking forward to having in this collection. So, yeah, let's just open the box and see what we got. I'll be surprised along with you. I will be hopefully happy with some of these. Again, this is bigger. I mean, the last couple where it was like 10 and 12 and 7 did better than that. So, yeah, we have these and the okay. So we get these little, there's like nothing, this first one's nothing but cushion. That means not all of them, I don't think, of the 9/8. So, let's see. This is the rejected books and one. The rejected seems actually fairly, maybe it was like just too many for like the smallest batch. So we'll bring the books in from the top. We'll take a look at what we got. And our first book is Amazing Spider-Man 101. This is the reprint from 1992. This I got in a collection, and a number of books are in this same collection. Probably about half of them are from this particular collection. There are actually a couple books that I really want. So, that had some ASM books. This I had as clean. So, again, it was in a collection. I got this collection probably, when did I pick up this collection? This is going to be scary as to how long ago it was. Because this is not only how long it's taking me to process things, I don't even have the date of when I picked this up. I think. Now, I will say this. I submitted this on April 16th. Today is May 28th that I'm getting this back. Nope, it's not there. I'm pretty sure yeah, I paid this collection I think I got in 2022. And it's just been like there had been a maybe not. That's a different one. I got a bunch of collections in 2022 the same time. Nope, not that one. I'm looking at my records. Where the heck did this come from? Not there. This is sometime in 2022. That's how far behind I am. This, yeah. I'm going to say maybe late, like October 2022. That's how long I've been sitting on this stuff. So anyway, that's going to be sell. I'm going to talk about sell, spec, or save. So then this had the raw books. There seemed to be a chunk of raw books in here. This doesn't have, the invoice doesn't say anything. So we're going to look at the raw books last. that didn't make it. There's a little too much. So there's 2 more of these pouches. 2 or 3 more? 2 more. One is thinner than the other. I don't know if they needed this big a box to put it in, but here we are. Okay. And up next is SpiderMan #1. This is the second print gold. This does have a good value in a 9/8, I think. Yeah. And again, notes, I had this as clean. So that is a plus. That's from that same collection. I think there are fewer than I thought there would based on the size of the box. It's going to be about half, maybe. It may be a little more. We'll see. We'll see. Next, Spawn #9. His first appearance of Angela. Spawn 9 was in the same collection. And you'll see, I put the fair market value down at the bottom here of each of these books. So, get focus. There we go. That's a fairly common book, as is the Spider-Man 1, obviously. I'm not keeping any of those 3. I want to get something that I want into the PC to get excited about. West Coast Avengers 46. This is the first appearance of the Great Lakes Avengers. This was from a collection I got last June. This one had already been submitted and rejected, and it came back at 9/8. I had it as clean. DC versus Marvel, #1. This from that same collection a couple years ago. And there's talk that they're going to be doing something else getting together. This is probably a save. I'll probably keep this one for the PC for now. Next book is, this one. And I had this as clean. This is one I was looking forward to. This is definitely a PC book. This is DC Comics Presents number 52. This is a book I pick up a lot. This is the first appearance of Ambush Bug. And it does have a pretty sneaky good value in a 9/8. All of these books are from the 80s and 90s. I don't think a single one is, they're all 80s and 90s books. So this is from 1982. It might be the oldest book I submitted. It is. So to get a 9/8 on that is really cool. This is one of those books I like pressed. Now, I think I had done a video, or maybe a short on this. One of the things that kind of spooked me about this when I sent it in was that little pink there. And I'd done a video like when I was submitting this. That's on all of them. It looks at first like, is that marker? And also in the artwork, there's like a couple of dots here, like right there, that like are part of the artwork. They're not dots. So first, the Ambush Bug. That was one I was looking forward to getting. That's going to do it for that. And there's just one more bunch of bubble stuff left. So there's maybe another. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 6. So there's probably another 8 maybe. So we'll be about half. 6, 8. Something like that probably. Probably not more than that. Maybe 10 at the most. So I think we're going to be at about half on this submission, which is slightly disappointing. That didn't sound great. Okay, so they're upside down. That's fine. Okay, what's next? X-Men 283. First full appearance of Bishop, or Uncanny X-Men 283. I had picked this up at the Wayne Comic Show. I had this as clean for $3.92. Again, a very common book. I'm getting a lot of these common books back. I'm excited about the Ambush Bug book, though. That is a cool one. Right? A little bit unusual. You don't see that too often, especially in 9/8 for its age. Then Yes, this was one I was really hoping for, and I thought it was very clean. I've been trying this, so I picked this up 2 years ago. This is how far behind I am. At the Clifton Comics Show, I paid $12.50 for it. This is Simpsons Comics and Stories #1. This is the first appearance of the Simpsons in comics. This is a hard 9/8 to get. You do have a lot of black on the spine here. But when I pressed this, I thought it was clean. It's in a poly bag, so you do have to press it to get the poly bag crease out. I think the seam is in the back. Although there's a poster inside, so it might not, like, the poster might be a buffer. Anyway, this is a book I've been hunting for in 9/8. I've got 9/6s, but this, very happy to have this in the collection. This is definitely PC book, because I've been looking for that. That and the DC Comics Presents were two that I was really hoping for. But we got some other cool stuff. There are a couple others that... this. Amazing Spider-Man 361 newsstand. First appearance of Carnage. That is very nice. Again, I thought that was clean. So that is cool. This, I had this book a few years ago. Again, this was part of that collection that I got a couple of years ago. And it is a book you see. I mean, it's not a rare book, but a newsstand is a really nice grab in that. And I have this as the DD collection because it's one of several collections I got like 4 collections that had Daredevil 1 in it, and this was another one of them, and that was part of it. And then we have another one, also a newsstand. Very nice. So that'll be available. Got like 5 more. And the third one. I thought these were all clean. And you don't always submit, but in a pre-screen when you think they're all clean, I think it makes sense. They all looked pretty much identical. Now, this was another one that we talk about common defects. Less so maybe on one of these. There's often like little gripper holes at the bottom. One of them had, maybe it was an example I used from, yeah. These I thought were cleaner than most, but that's pretty good. So, all 3 of those. Bing, bang, boom. What else do we have? I'm kind of all over the place in my list. Infinity Inc. number 14. This is the first Todd McFarlane published cover. It's first for DC. And the second full Todd McFarlane story. I was a big fan of Infinity Inc. You know, their Earth 2, the second generation of the Justice Society. This I had picked up 2 years ago at a show in Wayne for $13.73. So I paid it, about what it's worth. Maybe got a little bit off. I probably had bundled it with some other stuff. But my notes were clean-ish. Yeah. All the stuff that I had is clean. Pretty much come back. And when I have tiny little notes, they're like, no. So this is, kind of an underappreciated book for McFarlane collectors, but that is going to be in the PC because I'm an Infinity Inc. fan. 4 more? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16. I'd like to get 17. 17 is like passing. 16 is 64%. That's fine. What do we have here? Wolverine number 10. This was also, I got in a collection last year. This was a previous reject that I resubmitted. It's the first appearance of Silver Fox, a Sabretooth appearance. Again, just Sabretooth Wolverine. We have the back is Ken Williams, a pin-up on the back cover. So that's pretty cool. Wolverine number 10. Again, I had this. This had notes on it. It had a slightly blunted bottom corner. Very slightly. Yeah, I think that fixed up nicely. So, that's here. 3 to go. Spawn number 1, 9/8. This had a couple of non-color breaking ticks on it. Like right there, or very small ticks that I didn't get out, right? First appearance of Spawn, yada, yada, yada. So that's a comic book. This might go in my spec pile. We're all still waiting for that Spawn movie. I mean, when is that ever going to come? I already have a Spawn 1 and a 9/8. Like, who doesn't? Right, an incredibly common book, and a comic book and a 9/8 book that people do like to submit. 2 to go. Okay. Next book is... What do we got? Silver Surfer 100. This also was previously submitted. Again, a small non-color breaking tickets. This is like a harder book to press because it is a cardstock cover. Wrap around. Give him a Mephisto on the back there. Volume 3, number 100. Hologram cover. So, again, this is, again, a book that previously didn't make the cut, and this time it did. And I think we have our last book of the night. Could it be this one? There are 2 really good ones. Ugh, this wasn't one of them. XFactor 1. This surprises me a little bit. The staple is slightly indented here at the top. It is a little bit of a thicker book. Origin, first appearance of XFactor, first appearance of Cameron Hodge and Rusty. This also was previously submitted and rejected. Okay? So I think those are all the books that made the cut. And I have this huge box, bubble wrapped stuff I have to get rid of. And let's take a look at the rejects. Couple of them I'm disappointed with. We'll see if I resubmit any of these or not. Because I don't think I got a particularly harsh grader. And maybe I missed something on 1 or 2 of them. Or maybe they, no extra charge, put a finger bend in one of them. So, again, the total, I think it was 16. 2, 4, 8. 16. So there should be 9 rejects. Not the greatest result. It's funny, the size of the box was misleading. It didn't feel as heavy as I would have liked it to, because I was hoping for about 20, but 16 is okay. Some of these I will resubmit, and some I'll just give up on. The one thing is, though, like I said, this came back from when I dropped it off at my LCS to when I picked it up at my LCS, because there'll be a couple of days either way, the time it took for them to, get it to the post office, et cetera, et cetera. Just door to door for me was 1 month and 12 days. So 6 weeks. Yeah, exactly 6 weeks, which is not bad at all. Especially when you have the pre-screen aspect to it. Okay. So 9 rejects. They received it on 5/13. Today's 5/28. Okay. I'm very happy about the Simpsons and of course three newsstand carnages. Okay. What got rejected? This, I thought this was clean. It got rejected. There may have been, I don't know if it's worth resubmitting. It's not really something, it's not easy to press. So I do see a little something maybe down. Like, I got to look to see, if there's anything that like there's something maybe down here where there's a little bit of like gloss, like not gloss. There's no gloss. A little bit of a imperfection in the book. This, my notes, is slightly recessed staple. Maybe. It's West Coast Avengers 45, first appearance of the white or colorless Vision. I think there's maybe a little bit of stress around the staple at the bottom, maybe. This one I was kind of disappointed by. This is a resubmit. There's an extremely small something. Let me see. my notes got cut off when I printed it out. Because first appearance of Cable, that's a nice book in a 9.8. There's extremely small tick in the Marvel box. Let's take a look at that. Yes. Extremely small tick in the word group. Or maybe 2. Wait, that's the staple. No. Maybe this is that the staple? No, the staple's down lower, I think. This is another one I thought was pretty nice. That it's one of those books where I had pressed it, and then it seemed as though some ticks re-emerged, and I thought I had addressed it. It's Wolverine 27 Newsstand. I don't know. I see a really tiny tick. A really tiny one. Doesn't break color. Again, I'll take a closer look at this one. That is worth potential resubmission. This one, probably not so much. I see this pretty often. There was slightly blunted bottom edge. Yeah. The bottom corner, maybe. Too much blunt there. That probably won't be submitted. This one... There is... Again, I'm checking my notes. Yeah. There's a tick on Batman's shoulder. Yeah, this probably is. This probably was a little bit of a stretch. And there's some color rub on the back. So I think that probably won't get resubmitted. That would have been a PC book. And then this has a tick on the back cover. And then this one, that was... This one's frustrating. I think it's fairly clean. I have to take a closer look at this, because this would be worth resubmitting. Amazing Spider-Man 315. My notes say there's overhang, right? So what happens is the cover is, it's more common on older books, but the cover here is slightly larger. This is the first tiny cover appearance of Venom. The bigger book is 316. Yeah. I will take a closer look at this. This one is not worth resubmitting. West Coast Avengers 1. Again, this was like the XFactor one where the staple slightly recessed. The heck with that. So those are the rejects. The one that I would have liked to have had would have been the New Mutants 87. The first Cable. But did fine. Let's run the numbers. I'll be right back. Okay, so when I crunched all the numbers and I looked at the fair market values that were with each book, it comes out to $2,521 in value for the submission. Now, I only put out of pocket, because they're part of collections, what, about $37. The others were part of collections, right? So 8 got rejected. I think the total cost was $400 some odd, right? So that takes me to $2,000 after grading costs, which is still pretty good, right? A few are, the ones that I'm keeping definitely for the PC are the McFarlane. This one that I've been searching for a while in a 9.8. I'd love to get the newsstand, but that is tough. The first Ambush Bug. I have more of these that I have to clean and press. And then this. This actually has more, the sneaky amount of value. That's pretty cool. I'm a DC collector. That's good to have. The other stuff is a couple of them got to put in the spec pile. Now, 4 of the 16 books were books that were previously rejected. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 that were rejected for a second time. So I'm really going to have to be circumspect on those. The White Vision, the Wolverine 27 Newsstand, and the New Mutants 87 are the best of the lot. The New Mutants 87, maybe I'll just put that in a regular modern submission. And then we'll see if I'll probably just sell a bunch of the other books raw and move on and try to at least get if it was part of a collection and it gets rejected and it's worth more than the reject fee, then I'm still kind of ahead of the game. So anyway, that was fun. I wasn't expecting to pick it up this week. I was thinking about, now I have no books at CGC. I maybe by next week I could get another batch in a 9/8 pre-screen. We'll see. My cleaning and pressing has been a little slower lately, but hey, summer vacation is coming up soon, and that'll give me time to really step that game up. So anyway, let me know what you think about the books that I picked up here. I could probably search in my old videos to find where I got those 3 ASM 361 newsstands in a collection. That's kind of why I do the video thing. I'm like, it gives me a video record of where everything is when I don't have. I'm pretty good with my paper records, but I'm constantly reevaluating how I do that sort of stuff. So anyway, I'd like to thank you all for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the CGC unboxing. In the meantime, you can take a look at a couple of my other videos here. And this is Jim saying, until next time, enjoy your comics.